So the biggest problem when it comes to stacking is perhaps for some people seeing the fluctuating gold price. So when the gold price goes down, you obviously want to buy the dips, but then you wonder, will it go any further? And you wait, maybe you don't buy. And then next thing, price is going up and you don't want to buy on the top. So you're going to wait again. And next thing you know, you're still waiting. You don't own any gold. And the gold price is just moving on up or down or wherever it's going. So whether you're stacking a quarter ounce, a tenth, or something a bit more fancy each month, maybe you're just making occasional purchases, maybe you don't really have a strategy, just buy when you see a deal. My personal strategy has been to pick up mostly low premium bullion coins and the occasional thing that is a bit more fancy, but mainly sticking to bullion sovereigns. Have bought quite a few Britannias in the past and still will continue to, but like I say, with the odd fancier coin as well. I've got quite a collection of shields now and the odd coin from around the world, but mostly 1 ounce or sovereigns. So for me personally, I'm just buying as and when I see deals come up. I've not got a set in stone monthly amount, but one of the popular targets that I see mentioned in the comments, and one we've talked about on the channel, is 1 sovereign per month. So if you were doing that for 7 years, this is the stack of sovereigns you could have before you. So my first gold sovereigns that I bought in 2018, they came in around the £230 mark, and at the time, spot price was sub £1,000. It was around 900, can't remember exactly, but that was back in 2018. So since then, obviously, spot has more than doubled, which we talked about in a recent video. But for today, I want to, have a look at some of the ways that gold will mount up. So in 7 years, just buying that 1 sovereign per month, which will be obviously March 2025 for me personally. If I'd stuck to that 1 sovereign a month, I would be sat on, those 7 stacks of 12 and, a rather nice amount of sovereigns. I think most people would be happy to have, there's 84 sovereigns there, isn't there, 7 12s. Public maths though. So, if you're sat on a stack of coins like that, you'll have a nice, stable financial base, and perhaps then you could, think about putting money elsewhere if you've not already. Maybe you just like the simplicity of gold and that was the first place you started to put some money. Maybe then you can think about not necessarily taking more risks, but perhaps diversifying yourself more and things that are perhaps more volatile. So gold typically isn't that volatile. Like last year, I think the fluctuation in gold price was a lot less than many stocks, and this year we have had quite a rise in gold. It's up over 20% at some points, which isn't typical. It doesn't normally just go up in a straight line for weeks and weeks and weeks, but at the moment it is, and obviously the overall long trend seems to be up at the moment. So we're either looking at gold price going up, or everyone always asks who hasn't watched the video, you're looking at the fiat going down. So often see a lot of comments, it's not gold going up, it's fiat going down. We know what it really is. Like I say, it's the purchasing power being eroded by inflation. So when you are seeing the gold price go up, if gold is money, then gold is just the same and it's the fiat going down. But whether you want to argue that point or not, like either way, gold is preserving purchasing power quite well in some instances. Some years it's not done as well. It's not necessarily matched inflation for the year, but it has, done well overall. So another year would see us with another 12 sovereigns and just keep stacking, 1 sovereign at a time, 1 per month, or, there's the quarter ounces. The reason I don't tend to buy as many quarter ounces is because the premiums are usually higher. So with that, it means you would have less gold for the same money. Some countries though, 24 carat is an advantage over 22 carat, and some people just prefer, the different designs on quarter ounces. There are sovereigns with different designs as well. Haven't got any here to show you today. But the other thing, if you're perhaps sticking to a smaller budget, there is 10th ounce coins. They are cheaper to buy. They cost less. You'll spend less to acquire one. But it is more expensive per the weight of gold that you get in. So if you have a stack of 1 ounce in total, if it's made up of tenths, you've probably paid a higher premium than having, say, 4 sovereigns and a little bit. So it's a more expensive way of acquiring the gold, but it's a way of acquiring gold. So, again, take that as you want. Depends how you want to view that. In terms of the 1 ounce coins, obviously if you can stack an ounce a month, then perhaps the 1 ounce is the better way. Consider, your exit strategy. If you're going to sell to a dealer, it should be nice and easy. Sovereigns do seem to be like the best of both in the UK. Paying for the shields, if you're just stacking, paying extra for these, probably not the best move. Just, maybe if you want to have a nice one for the collection, and then continue just stacking basic bullion on top. There's loads of different options, obviously plenty of videos on the channel. So I did make a video in the past, the power of buying 1 sovereign a month. It's been a very popular video. And so yeah, continuing on, we're coming up to this 7th year. I do buy a bit more than an ounce a month. Some months, maybe I've not bought an ounce in sovereigns. It just depends. But when you look at, the next year, you're going to just see it mount up again. And it's just a matter of going steady. So when we talk about the price going up, price going down, I've seen price fluctuate quite a lot, over the years, up and down. I've not seen any massive long-term bear markets in gold where it's just plummeted for years. That could well happen. And as a stacker, that would be absolutely fine for me. The gold that I'm stacking now, it's not that I need to sell it. There could be an emergency or whatever, or an opportunity where I feel like it's worth selling some of the gold. But otherwise, I'm just happy stacking it for the longer term. So, we're talking decades rather than months. So, consider that. Are you actually stacking for the long term, or are you going to need to sell it next month to pay your bills? If that's the answer, then possibly just hold on to the cash. Take a little bit of interest in the meantime. But in terms of the dilemma, should you add more at the higher prices? Should you wait for the lower prices? But then how low will it go? Will it ever go lower? You just never know. So I'll leave you with this. So when I first bought gold, the gold sovereigns were around £230 to buy. Now the spot price, literally the scrap price of them, is over 450. So it's basically doubled since I bought the first coins, even in counting the premium and no premium on the way out. But it's basically doubled. So there was people at the time that I spoke to who said they were waiting for gold to go back under, a sovereign to go back under £200 a sovereign. So that would have been a 12-13% drop, and it just never happened. Gold never went that low again. So the first sovereigns I bought were actually the cheapest. There were opportunities to buy a few pounds cheaper over the year, but it basically never went any lower. It just kept going up. And since then, it still hasn't been anywhere near £200 for a sovereign. So now you can't even buy a half sovereign for that, which is interesting. So just bear that in mind. Don't go all in at once. Just gradually start to build your position if that's what your intention is. If you think gold is going to be something you're interested in, you want to put your money into, then start gently. Don't go and buy all this at once. Just go and buy a couple of sovereigns. Wait a bit, maybe buy another one. See if see what you think, and go from there. Obviously, if you don't want to buy physical gold, probably not watching the video now, but there are obviously other options as well there. So hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you're up to. Talk to you in the comments.